Chapter 198, Supernatural Assistance Armament. The betting time had ended. Huang Tianba, who was disguised by Zhu Tui, and Fire Lotus appeared in the ring at the same time. They walked toward their respective battle positions. As his name suggested, Fire Lotus was wearing a Fire Lotus mask. He was 1.73 meters tall and slightly plump. Zhu Tui quickly walked to the standard combat position and stood still. However, he had just stood still when he saw Fire Lotus on the other side suddenly pull out a large caliber shotgun from behind his waist. He held it with one hand and glanced at Zhu Tui from afar. Almost at the same time, Zhu Tui's nerves became extremely tense. He adjusted his breathing and instantly entered a state of concentration. At the same time, he activated his mental perception to the limit. To be honest, according to Professor Luo Shifeng, when one's reaction speed reached 10 milliseconds, they could dodge bullets as long as their muscles did not react too badly. However, the prerequisite for this distance was 10 meters. Not only did dodging bullets within 10 meters require a stronger reaction speed, but it also required the corresponding muscle reaction speed. Zhu Tui's current reaction speed was infinitely close to 4 milliseconds. The distance between him and Fire Lotus was exactly 10 meters. Including his arm span, it was estimated to be 9.5 meters. At this distance, Zhu Tui could theoretically dodge the bullets. However, he had never gone through the training of dodging bullets. He was not confident now. In the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College, there was a fee for individual training due to the consumption of ammunition and equipment. Zhu Tui instantly made up his mind that he would undergo a variety of training to dodge bullets when he returned. To be honest, Zhu Tui was very surprised. He did not expect this Fire Element superb individual, Fire Lotus, to bring a gun into the arena. This kind of regular arena allowed people to enter with firearms. However, it was relatively unpopular. In most cases, firearms were more of a burden in actual combat. This was because everyone's combat armors had bulletproof functions. In the previous information, there was no information about Fire Lotus holding firearms. However, we can find information about the firearms held by Fire Lotus. Supernatural Assistance Armament. This was the latest supernatural assistance armament developed by the Yamato Genetic Research Institute. Coupled with special bullets, it could greatly increase the speed and range of a superb individual's attacks. The public display was less than 3 months old. Fire Lotus should be equipped with this, but this is the first time he's displaying it in this regular arena. Huang's electronic voice quickly entered Zhu Tui's ears through the earpiece. Below the stage, Xun Ziking, who had just placed a heavy bet, suddenly stood up when he saw this scene. His face turned pale. The information that Huang quickly added did not make Zhu Tui relax. Instead, he became even more vigilant. This posed a greater threat than pure firearms and energy weapons. Zhu Tui was currently wearing the relatively lightweight standard armor combat uniform provided by the Sea Paradise's regular arena. Standard combat uniforms were bulletproof. Therefore, it was not scary if it was just firearms or energy weapons. The previous battle plan was based on the strength of Fire Lotus that he knew of. However, now that Fire Lotus had actually used the supernatural assistance armament, his strength would definitely increase. However, he did not know how much the strength of Fire Lotus would increase. The moment Fire Lotus took out his supernatural assistance armament, the referee on duty in the regular arena suddenly spoke. Fire Lotus, according to the rules, you can bring firearms or energy weapons onto the battlefield. However, at the same time, your opponent has the right to choose a new distance to fight. If you are sure that you want to use this thermal weapon or energy weapon, your opponent will be able to choose a new combat distance, the referee on duty suddenly said. I'm sure, Virelitas answered affirmatively. The referee on duty looked at Zhu Tui and said, Huang Tianba. According to the rules of the competition, you have 3 choices if your opponent is carrying a hot weapon or an energy weapon. The first is to increase your standard combat distance from 10 meters to 15 meters. The second is to reduce your standard combat distance from 10 meters to 5 meters. Or, you can choose to maintain your combat distance, the referee on duty said. I choose to increase the standard combat distance to 15 meters. Zhu Tui made this decision without any hesitation. Close combat was not Zutua's forte. His forte was fighting from a distance. He naturally chose to pull away. Soon, the projection ray projected the standard combat position. Zutun and Fire Lotus stood still again. The 3 alloy silver pills slowly rose above Zutua's head. At the same time, Fire Lotus raised his gun and aimed at Zutua. Ready! A 5-second countdown screen was projected between Zutun and Fire Lotus. The moment the countdown reached 0 and Zutua's alloy silver pill moved, a gunshot rang out. The muzzle of the gun spat out a ball of fire that spun at high speed toward Zutua. Sparks flew the moment it blasted out. He instantly activated his mental shield. His alloy silver pill also charged forward. It was also at this moment that the sparks that were shot out by Fire Lotus's supernatural assistant's armament suddenly exploded. More than 10 sparks exploded one after another. The moment they exploded, they formed a screen of fire that blocked Zutua's 3 alloy silver pills. At the same time, the sparks that were thrown in Zutua's direction also exploded toward Zutun under the control of Fire Lotus. As Zutui retreated, he conjured 2 mental shields to block the explosive flames. However, every burst of fire could shatter his mental shield. Fire Meteor! Zutui instantly understood that this was Fire Lotus's superpower, the Fire Meteor. Previously, when he saw Fire Lotus in the video, he had purely relied on his supernatural energy to cast the Fire Meteor. Comparatively, the Fire Meteor had considerable lethality, but its activation speed was slower. However, this supernatural assistance armament instantly made up for the shortcomings of the Fire Meteor. It was fast and powerful. As the sparks continued to fly, Fire Lotus activated his superpower. Fire Meteors shot towards Zutui. Zutui had no choice but to conjure 1 mental shield after another to block the attacks of the Fire Meteors. In an instant, Zutui was beaten up. If this continued, he might not be able to escape the fate of dying in battle after exhausting his mind power. However, the 3 alloy silver pills that were blocked due to the impact of the explosion were not useless. They circled around and instantly gained strategic speed. Swish! With a sharp turn, the sparks that were still spinning at high speed were instantly shattered by Zutua's alloy silver pill. The flames were extinguished. Fire Lotus was slightly stunned. He did not expect Zutui to break his Fire Meteor in such a way. But almost at the same time, he started to pull the trigger. He wanted to shoot 3 times in a row. 3 specially made Fire Meteor bullets flew out. However, the alloy silver pills already had a strategic speed. The 3 alloy silver pills spun rapidly at the same time. With 3 sizzling sounds, the 3 balls of flames were extinguished again. However, Zutua's 3 alloy silver pills did not stop. He adjusted the direction slightly and charged toward Fire Lotus. Fire Lotus did not panic at all. He raised his left hand, and a fan-shaped flame shield immediately appeared in front of him. He wanted to block the 3 alloy silver pills that Zutui was throwing at him. Unexpectedly, the moment Zutua's 3 alloy silver pills hit the flame shield, the 3 alloy silver pills suddenly dispersed. They scattered toward the top, left, and back of Fire Lotus respectively. He instantly launched various attacks at Fire Lotus. They attacked Fire Lotus from 3 directions. Fire Lotus' expression changed slightly. He threw out a black pellet from his waist. The moment he crushed it, it turned into black powder. Boom! A ball of rolling flames exploded above Fire Lotus. Super Power Flame Explosion! Under the exquisite control of Fire Lotus, the flames and airflow of the flame explosion split into 3 parts and shot towards Zutua's alloy silver pills. Fire Lotus himself was unscathed. The powerful airflow and flames caused Zutua's 3 alloy silver pills to sway unsteadily. They instantly lost control. However, before Fire Lotus could relax, a shrill sound pierced through the air. The moment Fire Lotus turned around, he saw a silver light pass through the flame shield in front of him like it was passing through tofu. Fire Lotus instantly became extremely frightened. However, his expression froze at this moment. The silver light instantly shot into the middle of Fire Lotus's eyes and pierced through the back of his head. The flying sword penetrated his brain. Bang! The frightened Fire Lotus was brought to the ground by the flying sword. The silver light instantly turned around in front of Zutui. It circled around and entered Zutui's pocket. The entire place was silent. Almost all the audience did not see how Fire Lotus died. They just saw a flash of silver light and Fire Lotus died. However, the referee on duty, who also had powerful mind power, saw the main weapon which had killed the Fire Lotus. Flying sword. It was a small silver flying sword. The one who killed Fire Lotus is a small silver flying sword that is no longer than 5 centimeters. The referee on duty directly sent a message backstage. At the backstage of the regular arena, Qi Tong also looked at Fire Lotus that had been instantly killed. He was dumbfounded. Fire Lotus had died too suddenly. Play the video 10 times slower and see how Fire Lotus was killed, Qi Tong instructed. Are there any results from the information team? It would be a pity if we can't find out the background of such a young genius. The higher-ups might be interested. Qi Tong supported his chin and pondered. Manager, there are as many as 171 young mystery branch cultivators in the entire Blue Star who wield silver pills. Currently, we have eliminated 156 people based on their height, skin color, and voice. There are still 15 suspicious targets that we are comparing. Halfway through his sentence, Gong Chengshi of the information team suddenly froze when he saw the message sent by the referee on duty. Manager, if that silver light just now was a flying sword, then we can basically confirm the identity of this 19-year-old youth. In the slow-motion video, a small flying sword that was dragging silver light was flying. It's indeed a flying sword. Then lock onto the target, collect his information, and then give it to me. Qi Tong stared at Zutui, who was wearing a silver mask and had a cold expression on his face. He was interested in him. Huang Tianba won. Fire Lotus died in battle. Zutui walked off the stage with a cold expression as the referee announced the winner. Behind him, the surroundings of the arena exploded in the next moment. FCAC, who can tell me how Fire Lotus died? What's that silver light? Is it supernatural magic? FCAC, he had a good time killing. That silver light felt so good.